Physics has a hard boundary. It is a point where gravity, time, and temperature stop making mathematical sense. For decades, theoretical physicists have tried to push past this boundary, searching for a theory of everything, the God equation that unifies all physical forces into a single, elegant framework. Classical physics gave us the rules for the macro universe, mapping gravity and celestial mechanics. But those rules break down completely when applied to the microforces of quantum mechanics. Even our most advanced mathematical models hit an absolute wall at the Big Bang singularity. At that specific coordinate of infinite density, the equations simply collapse. This leaves astrophysics with an unanswerable question. What exactly existed before the singularity? A 2022 paper published in the American Journal of Humanities and Social Sciences Research by Mahesh Shrestha attempts to cross this exact boundary. The paper argues that solving the origin equation requires a radically different toolset. It posits that psychic and spiritual forces are literal, mechanical components of the physical universe. To analyze a claim like this, we have to establish strict rules of engagement. We are going to separate the science from the spirituality, dividing the components of this theory into three distinct buckets. Bucket 1 contains the proven astrophysical facts, the observable data we know to be true. Bucket 2 holds standard cosmological theory, the accepted mathematical models that track the universe post-creation. Bucket 3 dissects the paper's specific hypotheses, treating metaphysical claims as structural blueprints meant to reconcile the physical data. Let's start with the baseline facts. We know through direct observation that our physical universe is actively expanding, with galaxies accelerating away from each other. We also know that deep space harbors extreme, near-zero temperatures. The Boomerang Nebula, located 5,000 light-years away, rests at -273 degrees Celsius. In physics, cooling matter to absolute Kelvin, or zero energy, creates a Bose-Einstein condensate. The entire mass behaves as a single atom, completely losing its individual characteristics of shape, charge, and polarization. This infographic tracks the theoretical timeline of the universe, starting from a fraction of a second after the Big Bang. Moving along the chart, rapid cooling allows quarks to clump, forming protons and neutrons. Fast-forwarding to present day, the model introduces dark, or black energy. This energy is distributed homogeneously across space and time. It produces a repulsive, anti-gravity force that continually accelerates the expansion of these massive galactic clusters. Standard physics flawlessly tracks this mechanical expansion from the first nanosecond onward, but it offers exactly zero equations for the pre-singularity trigger. Here is where Shrestha's paper introduces its first conceptual leap. It takes the physical state of absolute zero and maps it to a formless, pre-time state called cosmic consciousness, or Nirgun Brahm. The author does not define this as empty space. Nirgun Brahm is defined as pure, unmanifested potential energy, effectively the ultimate cosmic-scale Bose-Einstein condensate at rest. Looking at this diagram of pre-Big Bang architecture, the top section is a parallel universe of mind, Sagun Brahm. This space is governed by three subtle elements: sentient, mutative, and static forces. The author overlays Tesla's 3-6-9 numerical theory to explain this geometry. Tesla famously theorized that the numbers 3, 6, and 9 represented a vector to higher dimensions. In this cosmological model, those numbers represent a perfectly balanced equilateral triangle of forces at absolute rest. Creation triggers when a fraction of consciousness, the omega point, falls onto this geometry, breaking the absolute balance. This catalyst instantly converts potential energy into actual energy, resulting in the Big Bang, labeled as nada, spilling into the visible four-dimensional world. The paper treats Tesla's numerical ratios as the literal thermodynamic trigger that collapsed pure consciousness into a physical singularity. This brings us to the ultimate mechanical paradox of the paper. How exactly does an immaterial thought wave compile into a physical, solid carbon atom? This flowchart steps down from cosmic consciousness into the parallel universe, generating an initial cosmic I-ness. As the static principle asserts dominance, this cosmic ego undergoes an internal clash and begins mutating. That mutation produces the paper's missing link, the microvitum. The microvitum is a living subatomic translator. It exists on the silver lining between the psychic and the physical, acting as an abstract idea rather than actual matter. According to the hypothesis, millions of these subtle microvita aggregate together under static force to forge a single physical atom. It operates like biological software. Like DNA carries exact assembly instructions for complex organisms, microvita direct universe evolution from the subquantum level. The microvitum is the hypothetical compiler code. It serves as the absolute boundary layer where the metaphysics of the mind interlock with the quantum mechanics of matter. Shrestha scales this vast cosmic architecture all the way down to human biology. The paper argues for strict symmetry. The exact same forces expanding the cosmos operate locally as control centers within the human nervous system. This schematic maps the 5 fundamental universal elements, ether, air, luminous, liquid, and solid, directly to the human physical chakras, showing a correlation between cosmic phenomena and biological nerve centers. Driven by this centrifugal force, the universe continually expands outward, generating complex matter and life. But the expansion is not infinite. The model requires a corresponding de-evolution process. Eventually, complex physical elements will cool, expansion will halt, and the material universe will compress backward, reverting entirely to a shapeless, attributeless superatom. In this framework, matter and consciousness are an infinite, interconvertible thermodynamic loop, making the human mind a structural gear in the cosmic engine. This analysis was brought to you by Synestex. Keep questioning the boundaries of the known.